Welcome back, everybody, to the Late Night Chat Network, your first stop for pop culture talk. And this is Late Night Letterboxd, our Letterboxd review show that we do here on the Late Night Chat Network. And joining with me today are my co-hosts, Max.
What's up, guys?
And JT. What's going on, Jay?
What's going on?
And our Letterboxd usernames that you can check out our profiles and follow us on or underneath our names here on the screen. I'm Neeks87. Max is Maxud. And then we got JT Maz for JT. Make sure to check out our profiles and follow us on Letterboxd as well if you're interested to see our reviews and things we've been watching. And this is a show that kind of sprung out of our Late Night at the Movies show that we do twice a month. And this is basically a show where we use this as a way to talk about our watch list, things that we do want to check out, movies that are coming out this year, coming up, as well as things, that we've heard about maybe through doing our show Late Night at the Movies, where we kind of do more of deep dive discussions on films that we all kind of pick collectively week to week. And we also, use this as a chance to talk about movie news, maybe some new movie news, and also like reviews for new movies as well, or things that we've been watching lately, right? So it's kind of like a good tool to use, a good site, Letterboxd. Make sure to check it out if you're new to it. It definitely helps when you're trying to keep track of things that you've watched. If you want to give ratings, you want to be part of the community, or even if you want to join in on the fun and get in our discussions here on this show, I think it's a good, a good app to utilize in that sense as well. Absolutely. Right. So, so first up here today, we'll throw up JT's profile here up on the screen, and he can walk us through what he's been watching lately.
What has JT been watching lately?
Nice.
Okay, let's take a look at your recent activity since the last episode. If I'm not mistaken,
do a diary. Quick diary.
If I'm not mistaken, I think the last episode is right around here. You watched Fargo, Monkey. Yeah, February 28th. Your first one up here. We got Problem Child, Jay. Oh, man.
Which one is that again?
I love this movie from my childhood.
That's the best one.
Yeah,
that's the best one, man. That's the one with the kid with the orange hair. Like, what the hell's his name?
Oh, Dennis Dugan.
His real name, dude. This
is John Ritter from Three's Company.
Yeah.
John Ritter.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
Yeah, man.
8 Simple Rules too, which was
actor, bro.
Have you never seen this?
No.
Oh, this is a childhood movie for me. I watched this movie a million times.
Okay, I gotta check that. Who's the kid?
Bro, I've been the problem child all my life. That's what they call me. Fuck. This movie was the shit.
I forgot what the kid's name is. Michael J. Oliver. Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried's in this. Michael Richards, Kramer. He's in it.
The kid's name is where is it?
Isn't that what's that guy's name? Isn't that Jake Paul's nickname, the problem child? Like in the ring, like a box. Isn't that like Jake the problem child, Logan?
Oh, I don't know.
Or Paul.
I just remember this movie from my childhood, and this and Problem Child 2. There's a sequel to this. Nice. And that's the one where there's a little girl in it. There's another girl that his dad gets with another family, and then they got it.
Fight it out.
Yeah, that's right. And this kid's just a shit disturber. Like, he causes a bunch of trouble for his family. Jack Warden is his uncle or his grandfather in this. I think it's his grandfather in this, right?
Grandfather,
if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
John Ritter's the father in that sense.
Yeah,
right?
And is this the one, Jay? I think I mostly remember the second one more so. I think
the second one I always relate to me and Mel.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
So what inspired this watch? Is this by yourself, or you're watching this with your
No, I did. This one I decided I wanted to throw it on because I wanted to see.
Nice.
There was something I was listening to in the song and the song and stuff, and I wanted to kind of relate. Just go back and fucking relate to the movie and just to see how, you know what? Sometimes it's actually good to go back to fucking childhood movies.
Of course.
Even though you think it's not the greatest, sometimes there's good stuff that you can remember that come out of that, and those trigger good memories. And this is why I would go back and this is why I watched this. This is because I knew this triggered fucked up memories, but it also triggered fun ones at the same time, right?
Do you ever watch those movies from your childhood and you get kind of sad that like you're not a kid anymore, and like doesn't that ever like sprout out in you?
That's
like
nostalgia.
Like nostalgia, like oh my god, my life was so much simpler when I first saw this movie, kind of thing. Or
sometimes that's
I always
it happens sometimes, you know.
yeah, and I always try to reiterate that stuff to like the younger generation now, like let's say my nephews and stuff like that. That you know what, when you're in high school and that kind of stuff, don't take it for granted. Take your time,
Yeah.
enjoy. Right,
Yeah.
life's gonna go by too quick, man. You're gonna cherish these moments. Like I try to
Absolutely.
tell them all the time that you're when you're high school and elementary. I still have best
I
friends
didn't
that
get to
came.
watch this. I saw that.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean, I used to. I just still have best friends that came from that time. Yeah, I have friends too from the times after, but still, I've had best friends from those times. You know, like
Right.
you're never gonna get those times back, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what
I'm,
would
not,
be
I'm
my.
such a badass, right? I'm such a problem child and whatever. I'm a badass. I like to leave a decent. I want to leave a decent legacy, bro. I got to be somewhat smart with some wisdom. I mean, you know.
Yeah, you convinced me. I love these movies, and I actually haven't thought about these movies
I'm
in a
actually
long
gonna add that
time.
on my watch
I just
list
added
too.
I just
I'm
added
gonna
it
do
to
the
my
same.
watch list, and I'm gonna look up Problem Child 2 and add that later as well because
This conversation inspired me.
yeah, I haven't seen these movies in a long time, but I remember these being a big part of my childhood as well. So good pick, Jay. It looks like I was gonna ask you if it still holds up, but you gave it 4 stars, so I'm guessing yes.
Oh yeah, bro, it fucking holds up for me at least. I mean, even if it's at an emotional level or you know what I mean, just in that sense. But I mean, you can't be John Ritter, obviously either, man. He's just a character in himself.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
great.
God, rest in peace. Died too young, right? But he was always great to watch and that kid did a great job as a problem child. Like I know he's probably one of those kid actors that fell by the waistline, kind of thing. I don't know if he did anything serious later on. I didn't follow him. Right, so I never really checked, but yeah.
A great pairing for Manhunter, right?
I love
this movie kicks ass.
As you can see, I just want to say, as you can see, when we pull these up, if I have these on my list rated already, they will show up. I've rated this 5 stars. This is one of my favorite Disney movies.
It kicks ass, bro.
I love this movie.
It's top notch.
Good
I
action.
didn't realize how great of a movie it was until I rewatched it as an older older.
Even the poster is hard as fuck, bro. That poster goes hard.
I seen it younger, and it fell by the waistline. I just after a little bit, I just turned
I think
off.
it's wayside, not waistline.
Well, whatever, waistline, wayside, same shit. Fuck.
Like, no, it's actually a huge difference.
Okay, listen. That's
not by the waistline.
Add that to
boy.
Add that to a JT-ism, all right? There you go, bro.
J2-isms.
I thought that's what you said already earlier, but I wasn't sure. Then you fucking doubled down on it. You dirty bastard.
I fucked up too.
You dirty son of a bitch.
Yeah. No, earlier I said earlier when we were doing the Manhunter, I was like he knocked it out of the bag. When I meant to say he knocked it out of the park. I was like, what? What the fuck did I just say?
Listen, guys, sometimes when you do this, you do a lot of recording, you fumble your words.
Overthinking what you're saying. Knocked it out of the park. God damn it.
Oh,
he was in his bag.
Hey, here, I'm going to bring it back to Manhunter right now. You said waistline, didn't you? Didn't you, dirty son of a bitch?
You watched Mulan. Then you put it on your Letterboxd. Then you rated it 5 stars, you son of a bitch.
Didn't I got 4. I put 4.
But Jay, yes, tell us about this. Why'd you enjoy this?
Oh man,
I enjoy. Well, I had it for movie night. I really didn't. I didn't pick it. I'll be honest with you guys.
Oh, yeah, Eddie Murphy as the little dragon too. I forgot about that. Yeah,
I didn't pick it. The girlfriend.
This is pre-Shrek, right? This is before he was Donkey, right? He's dragon or Mushu, yeah.
Mushu.
And it just even movie feels like it's before its time in that sense. You know, she's doing her thing, trying to be trying to be a warrior and stuff like that. You know, she's doing her thing. You know what I mean?
It's actually a very empowering film for women as
very for
young
kids,
girls.
even for kids, bro.
As I'm sure you guys would know, right?
I would know. No, I agree with this guy's comment. Look at this. This guy's comment here. "I'll Make a Man Out of You" is without a doubt the best Disney song ever.
Wasn't that from Pulp Fiction?
No.
Girls,
no.
You'll be a woman.
It's a different song.
It's different. Totally out of the fucking.
Don't ruin it for us, okay?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Make a Man Out of You.
I'm really bad when it comes to Disney songs.
I love that. I love
remembering them.
Those are great songs, bro.
So have you guys seen the live action one? Like
it's terrible.
I thought so. Have you guys liked any of them? If you've seen them all, any of them?
Which one have I liked?
I kind of want to check out that Aladdin one just for Will Smith as the genie.
But Guy Ritchie did that one.
Don't.
I'm not.
bro.
I thought you guys like Guy
Oh.
Ritchie.
I do. You don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't. But I mean, it's
But I didn't
Aladdin.
like that. I didn't like the Will Smith Aladdin one. I seen.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
rough. I don't know if I
Was
would
Will
rewatch it.
Will at least funny as? Because sometimes Will's in a bad movie, but Will is good in the bad movie. Like
I didn't see it, but I wouldn't
I
because
know,
Robin
but-
Williams, R.I.P.
oh, right, yeah, RP. I mean,
It's
You know.
different. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's a hard shoe. It's a big shoes to fucking
yeah,
fill, bro.
no, it is.
But
But I
Mulan,
mean,
yeah.
you know what though? I will say, like, if you were gonna get someone, Will Smith is also pretty charismatic and
Yes,
energetic.
he
Like, I
is.
think that's a really good choice, actually.
Is. Next
Yeah,
up,
moving on. I want to see this. Okay, this has been on my watch
Well,
list,
this
like
one's
personal
fun.
watch list. Both this one and what's the sequel, House of a Thousand Corpses? Or
I watched that one.
Yes.
I haven't seen either.
I haven't seen this one. I've seen.
I
House
saw
of,
the first 15
House-
minutes of Devil's
House of a
Rejects.
Thousand Corpses is fun.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, it's a
I
good movie
seen that
though.
one. That's why this was on
Talking
live
about it,
TV.
man.
This was on live TV. I was.
You know, I
watching
saw
it.
this on Tubi. Tubi, it's like on Tubi. It's like this is like a Tubi like
Mhm.
thing.
Bro, the clown guy. I forget his name. Pounder or
Yeah, what's his name? Doesn't
Oh.
Conway the machine have this guy's face on all his artwork?
Isn't his name
Oh.
Captain something?
Captain. Yeah,
Spalding.
Captain
Spalding.
Spalding.
Captain
Yeah.
Spaulding.
Yeah.
I could have swore Conway has this on like one of his album covers, like
I don't know.
the machine on steroids or one of those albums. Yeah.
No, but I you know what? It just happened to be on one of the live TV channels on it, and I said, you know what? Let's put it on. I know I seen the House of a Thousand Corpses. Let's check this one out. Is that his wife that's in this?
Yep.
Rob Zombie's wife too? Yeah.
Yeah, Sherry
So-
Moon or whatever her name is. Yeah.
Yo, I still haven't seen any of the Halloween ones he did. Rob
The
Zombie.
first one's great.
Yeah.
The second one's trash. In my opinion.
I don't think I've seen any of his movies.
I like House of a Thousand Corpses, and I like the first Halloween.
Could you click his name? Let's see
Sure.
what else Rob has done. Because I have
You know,
not
This guy, his first name basis already over here with everybody.
yeah,
It's
Rob. Yeah.
fucking,
No, I don't think I've seen any of these movies.
This is his other one, I believe, in this trilogy is Lords of Salem.
Is that the third part of
the first one, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
No, because it's Devil's Reject is one, then House of a Thousand Corpses is
Okay,
part
so
two,
maybe
right?
this isn't part of it then, because this is the other one he did, 2012. This is before.
Oh yeah, now I'm remembering. Conway has a an album called The Devil's Reject, and then Reject Part 2. He's a huge fan of
Oh, so this is the last one then, this Lords of Salem, it looks like.
yeah.
Yeah.
I always get Rob Zombie and like Eli Roth.
Two totally
I
different
know, but I always
films.
just like when I think of them, I always think of like, oh yeah, like I was just thinking like did Rob Zombie do Green Inferno? And then I was like, no, that's Eli Roth that did that one. I was just like totally because I haven't really done much homework on Rob Zombie, so I gotta
This
do my
one's great.
Not
the
much.
first Halloween.
I like
yeah.
to see. I like to see his version of the Monsters. I didn't see that one. I don't know why.
I heard it's
'cause
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hear good things, and that's sad to hear. Although I haven't judged it on my own, but
Well,
I will.
I mean,
He's
it's
a huge-
Letterboxd. It's only 2.4.
He's also in a rock band, right? He's
Yeah.
he's a singer, yeah.
He is a huge fan of the Monsters, though. Huge
Mm.
fan. He even has like
Yeah,
songs
I
that are
mean-
named after like certain things from the
Interesting.
Monsters. Yeah,
Is this a kids movie or
No, it's like it was
Monsters?
early, right? Like it was black. It went all the way from the black and white all the way to the
Yeah.
the 80s stuff like that, and
Okay.
then this has been like that, the most reborn it's ever been. I think.
it's an old comedy where like they it's like the Adams Family.
Oh yeah.
but
That's
they're
what it looks like.
monsters,
kinda.
essentially. Yeah.
Eddie Munster, yeah, Eddie
Well, that's
Munster.
like it's
Grandpa
more.
Monster.
Is it like for younger ages kind of? Like
The
it's not-
show was, yeah.
But the Rob Zombie.
Oh,
You haven't seen it.
I
so-
haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like something that's like would be scary. It looks kind of like
Look at this review, like watching a porn parody without the sex.
that's a pretty good review. That's a pretty funny ass review. I'm not gonna lie.
There you
Oh
go.
shit, yeah. Like, I mean,
Alright.
he's interesting when it comes to the goriness about stuff, right? Like he's very interesting in it.
I will say
If
he.
it wasn't on live TV, I probably wouldn't have just picked it out and watched it.
That's fair.
But because of that, yeah.
He swings for the fences, so to speak. How about this, Jay?
The
What's going on
mansion.
here?
Oh shit.
This is a whole new.
He's
another look
dollar
at it.
hide, bro. I'm telling you.
No, dude, they're talking like This is a more of a documentary, I would in a big way, right? Because I mean, he's done now, right? He's gone, he's not in it. So there's a lot of stuff that comes out now with fucking the CIA and mind
Yeah.
manipulation, fucking
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
music manipulation, and he was part of a puppet of it, and he had these fucking women following and doing what he wanted them to do. These people that he had at the ranch, right? Oh man, this one got me good, and it got me really thinking of
Yo, Sean Fennessy.
this.
Sean Fennessy saw this. You see activity from friends, right? Yeah. Because I follow him too. I reckon.
Yeah.
So I
But
guess you're a
no,
good
yeah,
guy.
this
Listen.
was just the new Netflix one that just came out, right? Because they
Oh,
have,
it's on Netflix. Okay. Oh, yeah,
yeah,
2025. I see.
yeah. I mean, it might it's a documentary, so it's obviously not everybody's thing. And then you know what the problem is there's a lot of people that are dead now,
Uh-huh.
right? And the CIA they did do a lot of shit when it came to testing and when it came to not just
Yo.
not music, but when it came to medication, when it came to every fucking thing
Yeah,
possible.
for sure.
The way they treated people, yeah, it's not it's not unfathomable,
Dude,
but
they're like behind
they're not
everything.
showing enough. They're not showing enough. I don't think, in my sense, I don't think they were showing enough evidence, solid, concrete evidence. They were showing obviously CIA documents that they were able to bring out, but you know they were jumping from line to line, right? Like it can say anything in between that line where they're trying to say the words and pull out the words, like that one liner or that one. You know, it was great. It was a great watch. Don't get me wrong,
Did,
but
did you guys
it just
ever
doesn't
watch
hold
that documentary Tupac and Biggie? It's called Tupac and Biggie, and it was done by that British guy who was going around like interviewing people like
No, I've heard of this. I haven't
it's a
seen
very
it.
popular
Yeah.
like if you'll recognize the poster for it like if you look it up. Um that was like one of the theories that he was positing in that documentary was that the CIA had a part
Mhm.
in taking them out, and Tupac had like a history with like the Black Panthers and stuff like that. And so like it literally when in doubt assume the CIA did it. Like literally
Yeah.
when it comes to
Especially
anything.
back in the
Well,
day.
you know
Yeah.
what, man? That's for real. That's what I mean.
It
There's a
is for
lot of stuff.
real. No, I believe it.
Yeah, they did. They got away with, right? So,
I gotta
and
hear
they
about
probably
this
still
one.
do.
I gotta hear about this one.
That's a movie I wouldn't log on Letterboxd if I watched it. Like y'all don't need
Bro,
to see, y'all don't need to know that I watched
this is a
Melissa's.
good movie, bro. It ended up okay. In the first part of
What
it,
do
I
you mean?
started
You
dozing
gave it
off.
2.5 stars.
No, I started dozing off because, bro, I mean, it was because I started dozing off in the beginning, and then once I kind of realized what it was about, the storyline and
Yeah.
how she did it, and all
This is
that,
low
it
key
kind
like
of.
what Wicked just
I mean,
did.
this is
The
what
Wicked before Wicked.
Angelina looks like now, right? With her fucking cheekbones like that. Fucking.
I hate how like skinny her it looks kind of
No, it's
gross.
more makeup than anything. I don't think it's like they highlight it so it makes it look like it's
Her
3D and it's
cheeks look
popped
like
out
they could
too.
cut diamonds. They're like
Nowadays,
razor sharp.
you know, I
Yeah.
mean, I thought it was interesting. I thought it was cool. Like it was a cool little film thing. The problem is her daughter picked it, and she ended up wanting to watch the whole damn thing.
Did you guys
So
see
I had to
Wicked
watch
yet?
the whole. No,
Wicked? This is
no,
kind
I
of
didn't
reminding
see
me
it.
like I remember when this movie came out. I haven't seen it, but not all the way through.
It's
But
funny because my nephew actually did a kids review on this one. They went into the theater with like a TV sort of kids review show, like
nice.
on YouTube. I forget what it was called.
Oh, really?
And yeah, Jacob did, and they went on there and he had to go in the theater with a few kids and then a grown adult. Well, I guess with the parents too as well, right? But they watched the movie and then they had to go afterwards and do a like a review about it. It's somewhere out there. I don't know where. I gotta find the name of the thing, but it's somewhere out there where he actually had. This is one of the movies, so it was around that time frame, right?
Mhm.
Just a little bit after. So I thought that part was cool about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it was a decent whatever you want to call it. I don't know, Disney
Watch.
or whoever makes it. I don't
Yeah,
know who makes
Disney.
it.
Because this is Sleeping Beauty, right?
Yeah.
This is like the villain
It's
from.
Yeah.
yeah, Sleeping Beauty, right? So oh, there goes Nico. But the recording is still going. He must have took himself off screen. Don't worry, he'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. He always is. I was waiting for you to come back. I was like, this guy just took himself off the screen. It
Sorry.
just shook the fuck out of me, man. I was like, did this guy just have a power in my head? I'm going power outage, and then I was like, oh, Nico just left us. I see Max, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, how is Max there? I got no audio. I'm just talking. I don't think Max can hear me. So
Yeah. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Okay,
it.
so yeah, this was a pretty popular film for her. I remember though.
Yeah,
Like,
it
yeah,
kind
it
of
was pretty
released. Yeah,
successful.
it was like the Wicked
right?
of its day.
Yeah,
Like,
she,
that's what
yeah, she was hot too. Well, I mean, they were all
she's-
they were
she's
all
still-
hot.
She
Except
probably
those
is still
little,
pretty hot. Angelina.
like except those little fairies. I don't know about those. Those like little munchkins.
Hard
you know, like
eyes.
And
This is a
finally,
new
you
one,
got
right?
Hard Eyes here.
This is a new one, right? This one just came out, like I think, right?
Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
yeah. I
I
went and
watched
watched
this too.
after, yeah.
You
After
saw it
yeah,
twice.
apparently,
So good,
apparently
you
I
had to
didn't know
watch it twice.
Nico. No, I think I logged it twice by mistake.
Oh, I see.
I
I see.
gotta delete it, right? But yeah, no, it's that's gonna be the fucking mask for Halloween this year. I mean, basically they basically
think so?
just fucking. I don't know if I'm saying what Nico said last week because I can't remember because it was so damn late after when we talked about it. But it's really all they're doing is a fucking screen character in instead of at Halloween, and they're doing it basically at Valentine's Day. So really, at the end of the day, it was just a sappy love story in a sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they got away with killing the Hard Eyes, right? I can see there being 7 fucking seasons of it, since it's the director of Scream. I can see there being 7 fucking episodes or sorry movies of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Like a
Kind
franchise.
of
Yeah.
like a franchise, like they did with Scream. They're just keeping it going, except for Halloween. I don't know. They do it for Valentine's Day. So then, actually, that's a good thing. Maybe nobody will go out and get laid on Valentine's Day. It's population control. You never know.
I thought it had some funny, self-aware type of jokes of like how
it did, but
yeah.
it was for like I think maybe a teenage to 20-year-old, early 20s, right?
This is like in the same avenue as like those Blumhouse movies, like Happy Death Day to You, like these kind of things. Yeah, like where it's like
good.
Groundhog Day essentially, but it's a
Well, it was like
yeah,
a slasher style, but not so gruesome-y. Like they had some cool fucking things, like when the girl was given the head and the fucking oh yeah, that's all I'm gonna say, right? But that was fucking cool, man. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, there are some good moments. Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah,
it kind of played into like the cheesiness of romantic comedies as well,
Nice.
right? Like kind of both things. So
Nice.
yeah, it was kind of weird. And then they arrest the wrong guy. It's just like a whole fucking Scream thing. It really is, basically, right? But it was fun to watch. I was like, you know what? It's up there. I'll watch it. I said, you know what? It kind of I fell between that and Manhunter. And I watched them both again, like because I watched Manhunter the second time, so I felt between there. I didn't even log the Manhunter. I don't think, did I?
Yeah, I
But,
didn't. Either.
No,
I didn't either. Yeah, I gotta go back.
But yeah, so at the end of the day, I kind of fell in between just to kind of clear that I kind of cleared my palate with, and then went back to watch Manhunter. Right? I was like,
yeah.
I need some killing, not just some fake killing. I need.
Oh,
some
you're not
killing.
gonna talk about his watch list or whatever. Or?
Oh no, we'll do that afterwards.
We'll do that afterwards. Okay.
Yeah.
So I only watched 2 movies. This is the only 2 movies I've actually ever watched. Oh, by the way, I'm promoting this show on my bio. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh yeah, I did actually. I
see?
did see that update. Yeah, hold on. Let's take a look at what you got written there. Member of the Late Night at the Movies crew of the Late Night Chat Network. Very nice. Check her stuff out. It's hella dope. I love it. Thank
and then,
you.
yeah,
Thank
you can click the YouTube. Yeah, of course.
And then ours will come up.
Yeah, if you click
Perfect. It shows our trailers. Yeah. That was what came up first.
I think it shows the playlist for the Late Night at the Movies. I think I just linked it to that.
These kids these days, with their
yeah,
with
it did. There's our playlist. Perfect.
Nice,
Yeah, so there you go. Check them out, guys.
Check
Max,
us out. Yeah.
Max, check us out here on the Late Night Chat Network.
So I only watched 2 movies. The Poutine thing. I think I sent this in the group chat. This is like a movie. I thought this movie was 100% made by AI,
right?
But it's not. What happened was they just took an actor and deep faked Poutine's face over him. Everything else in the movie is real. Like
okay.
And so
you said it was AI. Yeah,
I thought it was. I thought it was out because I saw the trailer for it. I saw it on a website, and then I was like, okay, what is this? And then I looked at the trailer. And then I showed this to my mom as a joke, thinking she wasn't gonna think much of it.
Oh,
and
fuck, bro, really?
Yeah, I like the trailer. I showed it to my mom as a joke, thinking she was just gonna have a laugh about it. And then she's like, "Yo, what is this? Like, let's watch it." So I wasn't actually gonna watch it. I wasn't actually gonna have any like real deep desire to watch it, or maybe as a joke. And then I actually did end up watching with my mom. And you know what the funniest thing is? So my mom is like. So she comes from like a USSR nation, like ex-Soviet nation. So she like knows her.
Sure.
She's also very well like read, and she reads the news like all day. So she knows all the stuff that happens in this movie. This movie is really
Was this propaganda?
no. This movie, by the way, so just a quick disclaimer. This director that directed it, Patrick Vega, I don't know how to say his name. Uh, I thought he was a Russian guy. It turns out he's actually from Poland. He's Polish.
Okay.
So we were watching this movie and I'm watching. I'm like, okay, there's like some like funny jokes in it, like here and there, which I admire. Like him being able to like throw a joke whenever he wanted to, which is like kind of funny. But we're watching this and it's actually showing like Putin's rise to power. Like he was a KGB. It's like kind of interesting if you like history and stuff like that. He was a KGB agent. The Soviet Union fell. He was like a taxi cab driver. He was just like a nothing, and then he became like a bandit kind of in the post US Soviet Russia or whatever. And the climb to power, just like how ruthless he is. His story, I think, is maybe more interesting than like as far as a dramatic narrative goes. It's probably more interesting than any US president we've seen in the last like 50 or whatever 100 years. And I'm turning to my mom, and she's telling me everything they're showing in this movie is real.
Is accurate.
Like this is actually what happened. He actually killed these people. He actually had these people like removed.
Yeah,
and,
he's
like,
ruthless.
He's ruthless for real. And my mom was like, I remember when this happened, and she was like telling me all. So I was happy I actually did watch it with her, like someone who was like
she's fact checking.
She had knowledgeable, and she's like, wow, he did like Patrick Vega. Wow, he did a good job. He did his research.
Interesting.
The movie, people are like kind of, if you go down the reviews, people are kind of shitting on it, and I get it because as a movie, it does kind of like half star. I mean, my thing about it is my expectations on this movie were super low because I just went into it thinking this is a meme.
Right.
Like I was like, there's gonna be some bullshit.
I remember when you told us about it.
Yeah, this is gonna be like some bullshit, like we're just gonna laugh or whatever. Like I had no expectations for this movie. To find out that like that there's like the narrative kind of does dip halfway through the like 2/3 into the movie. I remember like the last third of the movie up until like the last 15
Is it
minutes.
Long?
You could check how go to details. It'll tell you how long.
Yeah, the runtime.
How long is it? 108 minutes, right?
60, 120. Okay, so it's just under 2 hours.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So there's so much. So like the movie is like some of it is set in the future. It's like set in 2026.
Okay.
And like the world is on its end, and like he's like, oh, there's like his general comes into like the hospital room that he's in, and he's like, oh, the UK, their only mode of transportation is now bicycles, or it's like talking about like this like a post-apocalyptic sort of scenario.
So let me ask, what was the purpose of this film then? Is this pro or against? Or,
I obviously I would say against, but I don't want, when I say against, I don't want it to mean like
it's not
slandering him. I think it's what it's doing is it's showing like
observing
a real kind of like that Trump apprentice kind of thing. It's showing who this guy is, how he came into power, and then you make your own conclusions about what that means. Like so, because like a lot of people, like I think it's kind of been said like the path to power is like, you know, ruthless. It's for the ruthless. Like this is kind of like how this game is played. And I think the reason and I'm not trying to defend Putin or anything, like that's the last thing.
I know.
But I think like the reason why we're so hyper,
I'm just curious, like what angle they kind of
right? I think the reason why it's so hypercritical of why the West is so hypercritical of Putin is because he's the opposition. He's like, you know, like on the other side, they're always seem more evil.
Not really. I mean, he is Trump's boy.
Yeah, no, but like exactly, like you know,
you would think that he's the opposition, but I don't know.
And like in a nation like Canada, the US, we don't really like our own leaders that much for the most part. It's like, but Putin, I think, is like worse. Like as far as like.
Sure.
I don't know what Trump did. Like like I don't think Trump had people.
It's one of those things. Do you rule out of fear or out of like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, out of like admiration or whatever.
Right. So,
and there's another interesting thing that I didn't know, and my mom confirmed that this is a fact. They show in this movie that he sleeps in like a cryo chamber. He sleeps in this room that's like the temperature is like below whatever. It's super cold. To like preserve, he wants to live for as long as he can.
So he's like Joe Rogan in his ice baths.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, nice reference to like that.
In like in an ice chamber or whatever, and it's
awesome.
Like so because he wants to live forever. He wants to be in power forever. Like
I like that.
Mr. Freeze over there, Mr. Freeze.
I didn't rate it just because I find the star thing like
that's
whatever. Like,
fair.
but I
Some things don't always
yeah,
deserve it.
yeah,
either,
they don't really
yeah.
need to like,
Yeah.
and I'm not really, I would never like recommend someone to go see it unless you have a desire to educate yourself on
Okay.
what the story is and who this guy is. And I think for what they did,
Right.
I admire that
Mission-
quality
mission
of it.
accomplished.
And
Okay.
I'm grateful for the experience I had watching it with someone who
Right.
knows what they're talking about
Right,
and could
right.
like, you know, kind of steer the clear.
Came up during that time in the sense, right?
So,
Right.
so say that again, JT. I didn't hear.
Came up in that time in a sense, right?
What do you mean came up in that time?
Like she witnessed this stuff happen.
Well, no, she wasn't. She came to Canada in the late 80s. So Putin's like main rise to power that happened in the 90s. She was already in Canada, but because
Oh.
my mom reads like a lot of news, she remembered like certain
A lot of
politicians
shit,
that
right?
got nixed out of the equation, that Putin like is alleged to have a hand in. She remembers all these events, and she's like, no, she act like there's this one scene where Putin sends like KGB or agents or whatever. I don't know if it was the KGB to this like his ops house, and they had like that guy's wife, like they held the gun in the forcing the wife to hold the gun and kill her own husband to make it seem like
That's
she
some
killed
sick
him.
shit.
Yeah, to make it seem she killed him, but it was actually them forcing her to kill, like crazy shit like that. And she's like, no, this is happened. Like this is what happened.
That's crazy.
So
interesting though.
it was so if you were like want to educate yourself on
Yeah.
that, that's the only way.
kept your attention.
The
Too,
merit,
right?
yeah,
You watched
yeah.
the whole thing.
And my mom, and it's funny, it's like everyone's like half sorry. My mom was like, no, you know what? He actually did a good job. Like this is interesting. It's an interesting film experiment too. Like in regards to the AI, this is the first thing I've ever seen with like
deep fakes
with like confirmed AI. So yeah.
This one I was so happy to see on your list. I love this movie.
Me too.
I love
this is a favorite of mine.
I
so
this. I must have seen this.
Blue Streak. Oh, by the way, so I have to. This is the thing that I always kick myself on. When we did Rush Hour, I completely forgot to mention this as a movie to pair with. I feel like this is such a cousin of Rush Hour, like that sort of like era of like movies set in LA and kind of cop thing. And
Dave Chappelle's in this.
Dave
too.
Chappelle is pretty funny in this movie.
Yeah.
So JT, so the basic premise of this movie is Martin Lawrence plays a jewel thief, okay? And then they get the cops are on their like
right?
a diamond. He has a diamond, and the cops are on his ass like the night that he's robbing the diamond. So he has to stash it in this construction building, right? They catch him.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Oh, you've seen this movie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you didn't see this. Okay, sorry. Okay, so
No,
I
I
don't have to explain it. It is so funny. So what happened
Who's
was
the good actor in it? What's his name? Fuck.
The villain. What's that guy's name from the? He's also the
He
villain
wants
from
the
the
ring
Mask.
back. Yeah. He wants the ring. He wants the sorry. He
The
wants
same
the
guy
diamond
from the
back.
Mask. Oh yeah, Luke Wilson. Your boy Luke Wilson. Your family.
Peter Green.
Yeah. Peter Green. But yeah, no, I've seen him in the. Yeah,
Holy
him.
shit, bro! He looks crazy in this. Oh yeah, Zed. From Pulp Fiction,
Remember, bro?
Zed.
He was one of the gimps, no, or whatever. One of the guys over there.
No. He's a classic like villain, like actor character.
He's also a part of what's his face's crew in Training Day.
Yeah. He's always playing the asshole, man. And no, I actually like him for what like he always shows like when he comes up, he always kills it. And so what happened was me and my friend, we went to an Oscars party thing. I think I mentioned it like at TIFF. And what we were gonna do is we were gonna go back to his place and we were gonna watch one of the Best Picture nominated. We're just gonna I think we're leaning towards Conclave. And then he was like, let's watch Nickel Boys or whatever instead. So we put on Nickel Boys, okay? And then like when I watch movies with my friends, half the time we're not even really paying attention to the movie. We're just kind of bullshitting.
Right.
But we're watching this and there's like pictures of like Martin Luther King and shit. I'm like, oh wow, I thought this is like kind of serious. Like I thought this was gonna. Have either of you seen Nickel Boys?
Not yet.
Yeah. There's like pictures of Martin Luther King and shit, and we're like, okay, this movie might be a little serious, and I don't think either of us were in a mood.
That was not the vibe.
That was not the vibe. So then I start telling him this movie I've seen since I was like a kid. Blue Streak. I watched this like so many times.
Love Blue Streak.
And I'm like, we're just talking about comedy and stuff, and I'm like telling him like, oh, bro, one of my all-time favorites is Blue Streak, and he was like, oh, Blue Streak, you never even seen it,
right?
So I'm like, let's put this on, and he loved it, and we watched it, and we had a great time. So
let me buy you some cereal.
Yeah.
He shows up.
Yeah.
He's like, when I went to prison, you're like, he's like, and now you're like, shaboom.
You turn it to Shamu and shit. Believe that shit, right? Like, believe that shit. Yeah. Oh, by the way, this soundtrack to this movie is so kick-ass.
Yeah.
Great hip hop soundtrack. You had Jay-Z. I think it was the first Jay-Z song I ever heard. Girl's Best Friend with Swiss Beats. Great Hot Boy song. I rock ice, little mama.
And this is prime Martin Lawrence. Too.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence.
And this was one of my favorite. Actually, this is for the longest time. This was my favorite Martin Lawrence movie, but until it got like
Bad Boys.
not Bad Boys.
Oh,
Bad Boys
okay.
is great though, but it recently got. I like this more than
Big
Bad
Mama's
Boys.
House.
No. I like this. By the way, I like this more than Bad Boys than any of the Bad Boys. Blue Streak. Me personally, yeah, I rate this higher.
I don't know. Bad Boys 2 is up there.
Yeah,
for
Bad
me.
Boys 2 is fantastic,
I love
but
Bad Boys 2,
but it actually got usurped for me personally. There's a movie he wrote and directed actually called A Thin Line Between Love and Hate.
Oh yeah, I know that.
That's
movie.
my favorite Martin Lawrence movie. Yeah, that is like, to me, that's the top spot.
Okay, nice.
Blue Streak number 2.
I like
So,
it.
yeah.
I like it. No, I love Blue Streak. Trust
Classic.
me. When I saw this and you wrote classic, I was like, yeah, enough said.
Yeah.
I love this movie. Yeah. All right, very nice. Okay, so that's what you've watched lately. Let's go over to my.
And then Manhunter, of course.
Of course. Also, we should mention that because I failed to mention at the top of the show. We just did Manhunter, guys,
which is in my top 4.
Late Night at the Movies. Yeah, make sure to check this out if you have never seen this. It's a
Great
Michael
film.
Mann classic, and also the first movie that they ever did starring Hannibal Lecter before Silence of the Lambs. So if you're not familiar with this, check it out. And we also did an episode of it that you should see in the feed behind this episode. And
Nice.
it's a really good one. I really enjoyed that, talking about that movie. Good pick.
Let's get into your list now.
Yeah, let's get into my list here. What do we got going here? All right. Okay. So since the last time, not too much, since the last time we did the show, I watched 2 new movies, and these 2 new movies are my favorite movies of the year so far that I've seen. New movies, not like things I've just watched in general, but movies that came out in 2025. First up, we got The Monkey. I really enjoyed this. I wrote a review here about it. I'll read out to you guys. My favorite movie of the year so far. I had heard mixed reviews on this one prior to going to watch it, but it completely worked for me. It was very funny, and I had a fun time watching the over-the-top deaths throughout the film, which kept me interested the whole time. It also doesn't hurt that it's just over an hour and a half runtime in an era where everyone is making over 2-hour films, which isn't always necessary for the story being told. Last year, I understood why people were divided on Oscar Perkins' previous movie, Long Legs, which I also had enjoyed for the most part. But I feel this is a much more well-rounded film that doesn't take itself too seriously, yet still entertaining.
I heard this guy. It was the same filmmaker as Long Legs.
Plus James Wan. He produced this
movie.
Okay,
nice.
James Wan produced this movie, who's part of like the those other films,
Saw and Conjuring.
That's right, Conjuring. And basically this is a follow-up to Long Legs from last year. Oscar Perkins did this. This is based on a Stephen King short story.
Right, I heard that, yeah.
And honestly, you kind of got to go into this with the mind frame that it is a horror, but not a horror in the sense that it's trying to scare you. There is some over-the-top kind of, bloody, gruesome deaths in here, but they're meant to play as they're so ridiculous and over-the-top that they're kind of funny the way that the people die in this. And
kind of like Final Destination.
Yeah, exactly. And they're so ridiculous and over the top. So if you kind of go in again with that mind state, I thought this was a really well done, tight kind of hour and a half film that's satirical of in a way, like just because they're playing on this whole evil monkey kind of like thing that whoever this monkey is around, the user can if he activates the monkey, it'll kill somebody in his vicinity. Essentially, somebody else befalls their fates basically are intertwined with this monkey, and whoever the person is using it can't get killed by it. So it's kind of interesting.
Wow.
Adam Scott, who's obviously he's pretty big on Severance at the
right.
He's in the first scene of the film. Like he shows up for like a nice little cameo, and I was really happy to see him in this. But other than that, I'll leave it as is because I don't want to spoil too much more about the film. But this actor in it, Theo James, what was that show last year that he did that we really liked?
Isn't he a podcaster? No, that's Theo Vaughn.
Jay, he was in that show that we really liked, The Gentleman. He was in the show The Gentleman this past year. Yeah. That's based on the Guy Ritchie film. They did a Netflix show. Okay. He's been in a lot of things lately, but he's the main guy in this, and he plays himself and his twin brother in this movie. So he actually fucking true. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this one.
So let me ask you, did he top himself with like versus Long Legs or
So thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That's a great question. In my opinion, yes.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Nice.
Because this is the better, more well-rounded film.
Mhm.
I think that this is Long Legs. I can see where some people disliked it because maybe some of the silly aspects to the story as it unfolded, and
I still need to see it.
and it wasn't what people I feel like thought it was going to be from the start of the film. I think it kind of
Mhm.
went a different direction. For me, this is a tighter, more well-rounded film, and I think it's straight to the point.
Nice.
And it leaves less room for you to dislike certain aspects of the film if you're in on this idea and this story. Honestly, like Long Legs, I feel like when I watched it the second time, if you recall me saying this on the show, I didn't love it as much
Wow, okay.
as the first time. It just made my top 10. I think I rounded out the top 10 last year, but when I saw it, I was raving about it. If you recall,
I remember people were either loving or hating that. I think Julie
Very
gave that like
divided.
half a star or something.
Yeah, very divided. She absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
But that's not she's not a good
But there were a lot of
Example.
people I heard that didn't like that movie.
No, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Same with this movie, though.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
also
people are not liking this one either.
Not
But
like-
is this
sorry.
sorry, is this the Stephen King
Yeah.
book?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a short
it is,
story.
right?
It's a Stephen King short story.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say that's what I thought it was short. It wasn't like a whole novel.
No, but his short stories are better than some people's full novels, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Stephen
that's
King,
straight
bro.
up.
Yeah.
They
So
call it
Stephen King is
whatever.
crazy.
yeah. I think that this honestly, I think there's some people that also have disliked this, but less more so, I think, than Long Legs. I think it's
Right.
not as divided, this one, I feel, as Long
I
Legs.
feel like Long Legs was like was like a bigger event, kind of like
Absolutely.
was a more event.
So was this, though. So
it was
this.
this.
Yes,
it was on
yes.
the same level. Okay,
The marketing
But
behind
it's a
this was
love-hate.
just good.
really? Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Long
What's
Legs
that,
is
Jay?
more of a lover hate thing.
Yes.
Long Legs. Yeah, there's no in betweens. I don't think in that one.
Okay,
Because
I
this
still
one
got.
you
I still got. I'm gonna add that
you
to
can
my.
find something
both of them.
really neat. Like this whole thing, this whole movie. I know, Nico. It plays out really good. It does play out really quick and to the point.
Yeah.
Right.
I
and
could,
you get it.
depending how the year goes, we'll see. But I mean, I know this is early on, but like I said, when I saw this was my favorite film of the year. But we're gonna get to another film that I just recently watched this past week, which may have taken its spot for best film of the year for me
Nice.
so far. So we'll get to that here. What else we got here? Then I got Manhunter, of course. Like I said, go check that
Classic.
out. I watched it twice this week. Sleepers. Have you guys ever watched this movie?
I think
heard
so.
of this.
That's the one with
Barry Levinson. Oh,
It is a star-studded cast. Let's go over who's in this movie.
not the
Sounds
same one
very
that I was
familiar.
thinking of, like with Julia Roberts and Kevin Bacon and all those guys. That's the one where they fucking would go to sleep and like right to death. What the hell is that one called?
Oh, I know what you're talking
That's what I'm
about.
talking about, right? Keith Sutherland's in it too.
Yes,
Mm.
yes. So this
is it
movie,
Kiefer Sutherland? Yeah.
what is that fucking movie?
I
called?
know. I don't
Wasn't
know.
it Brain
Flatliners.
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 Yeah.
And they made a
Yeah.
sequel to that. They made a
Sorry.
sequel, yeah, with Kiefer Sutherland's in both of them, right?
So this one is starring Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman,
Whoa, De
Jason
Niro?
Patrick, Brad Pitt,
Jason Patrick.
Billy
man.
Crudup,
God damn this.
Bruno Kirby. There's a lot of people.
What
in
year
this
is this?
movie. This is weird.
96?
I feel like this isn't talked about all that much. 96. It is by Barry Levinson. And I'll tell you the reason. I gave it 3.5 stars. I'll tell you the reason that this movie maybe he's not talked about all that much.
Mm.
It's a weird movie because it's basically about a bunch of kids that are delinquents that end up going to juvie and get raped for fucking like 8 months of their lives when they're younger. Yeah. And then they come out, and then years later, they all reconnect with one another through like some sort of weird circumstances. And the 2 of the 4 boys that went away to jail turn out to be, the 4 boys are, what's his name? Brad Pitt's one of them. And Billy Crudup is the other one. And I forgot who the other 2 are. Jason Patrick's one of them. And basically they all meet up again through certain circumstances, but 2 of them end up meeting up with the guy who was the orchestrator of all these rapes in the juvenile prison, which of course is played by scumbaggy Kevin Bacon. And they end up killing him. So then the 2 guys are up in a trial to go to jail because they killed this guy. And the DA assistant is played by Brad Pitt, is playing one side of the fence, and Jason Patrick, who's a reporter, is trying to manipulate the case on the other side. And basically, they're all working together to get these two off for killing their childhood rapist, essentially.
Oh,
It is
interesting.
a
Wow,
messed
that's a
up
really
film. Yes, I know.
deep-
I know.
That's like so many layers.
Right,
So much to
right.
unpack.
And it's messy.
Yeah.
It's messy. And also the first hour of the film, they depict all this in a flashback with younger actors. So in the first hour out of a 2.5 hour film, you don't even see all these big actors.
Yeah.
You have childhood
The
actors.
first hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
Out of a 2.5 hour film.
Wow.
Right. And then and Robert De Niro plays the priest in this, the childhood priest, who has nothing to do with that stuff.
It's not raping them.
No.
Oh, okay.
It's
Thank
the
God for
prison
that.
system that does that. The guys,
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon, to be specific.
Yeah.
Also, the guy from Oz.
Specific.
J.K. Simmons?
No, the guy who's in Oz that plays the main dude that's the part of the prison guards.
Okay.
I don't know his name, but he's in it too. He's also
Okay.
one of the prison guards in this. And anyways, but Robert De Niro plays like a really good, like the part that Robert De Niro plays in the Brooklyn, what's it called?
Bronx Tale.
Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to that. He's like a neighborhood, like he looks out for the boys, like, you know what I mean? Like he cares about them and he gives them advice.
Yeah.
But then they end up going to juvie, this juvenile detention center, and their whole lives are ruined. And then they make a pact that they're never going to talk to anybody about what happened to them there. But then it obviously comes through like 10 years later.
So you're saying it's not as popular because the subject matter is
I
so
think
heavy?
so. But then you think of other films, which I know you've mentioned you hate, like Spotlight, where that is also the subject matter, and that's critically acclaimed by some people.
I don't hate it for the subject matter. I hate it for like the execution. I think was just boring. It's just like a regular. I feel like I've seen that kind of.
This one's very messy too.
What is it? Was it Mark Ruffalo?
Here's my
They
review.
lie.
Yeah, here's my review here. That was a lot. also, Kevin Bacon will always be in my top 5 actors who constantly play the most scumbaggiest piece of shit.
No, remember Kevin Bacon was in X-Men First Class. He was the fucking leader of the
Hellfire Club.
Yeah, but
Sebastian Shaw.
It was also, I don't know if he's in the comics, but was he like also like a
scumbag?
Yeah. But the leader of the concentration camp.
No.
Remember he was in, but that was in the X-Men First Class. Remember?
But I think
he was like.
Did he not play Sebastian Shaw?
I think it's like they combined that. They like added that to his backstory. He's the guy in the concentration camp that kills Magneto's mother. Remember they're like in a Holocaust or whatever.
Okay, that could be true.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to say this guy. So this was directed by Barry Levinson.
Yeah.
His son Sam Levinson is the one who makes Euphoria, which is also like kids getting fucked and all this like
falling down. He also directed, if I'm not mistaken, right? Isn't that
Rain Man? Oh shit! Oh Good Morning Vietnam. I haven't seen.
Oh no, he's not falling down.
He's the one. This is the guy who's making the new movie with De Niro, where De Niro's playing 2 roles. Remember that?
Oh yes,
you saw that? Yeah.
Dope Sick is really good. No, Disclosure is him too, of course. That's a Hordius movie.
Oh yeah, Alto Nights. That's the one that's coming out.
What's the one that I'm thinking of though? Who did Falling Down? It's
I think is that Joel Schumacher?
Yeah, that's it. I mixed him up.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, because I was thinking of other controversial directors of this period, right? Who made like these interesting movies like in this. And so Sleepers, it's worth a watch, but I don't know if I'll be revisiting it anytime soon because it's pretty crazy.
But what you're describing to me sounds like some fucked up like Euphoria shit that like where it's like kids are like, I mean, this sounds way more fucked up.
It's ridiculous. Let's just say that the story's very convoluted of how it all comes together. Okay, so that's Sleepers.
Sandwiched in between 2 watches of Manhunter. I love it.
right. I know.
You needed that to wash you down.
No sunlight. Yeah, I'm gonna watch some Sleeper. I didn't know that's what it was about. I see the cast. I was like, wow, look at this cast.
Interesting.
I'm like, why doesn't anybody talk about this movie? Then I found out. Okay. I wouldn't say it was bad though. It wasn't bad. But
no, I'm putting it to my watch.
Speaking of bad, Red Dragon, which I just talked about on the Manhunter show, guys. If you want to hear my further thoughts on it, here's my review though. Manhunter is a much better film than this, despite the star-studded cast, which is made even more apparent when you watch the two movies within a close time frame of each other. I had always heard this to be the case, but I had to see for myself, as I don't recall ever watching this one, despite seeing all of the other Anthony Hopkins Hannibal films.
3 stars is pretty high for like you were saying how bad it was. Like
it had some redeemable moments.
Okay,
and again,
because 3 stars is like
good
that's
stars
good.
in it. Like
Yeah.
Anthony,
That's a pretty undeniable cast.
Yeah,
People
like I mean,
Phil
listen,
Hoffman and Ed Norton and
yeah,
Ralph
and
Fiennes.
exactly, Ray Fiennes. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
I actually do. Despite all the things we were saying about this, I actually still kind of want to see this
again,
Yeah.
just to kind of say you've seen it.
Yeah, exactly,
it's
exactly.
Worth it. It's worth it.
Was that the dragon tattoo on his back there?
Yeah,
or was that
that was the
Hopkins?
painting. Yeah,
There's another like one that I seen Red Dragon like that, where it's actually Anthony Hopkins' face at the top part is Hannibal.
Okay.
Or maybe that's Hannibal. Yeah.
Is that the one with the Ridley Scott one? Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know, I actually heard we didn't talk about this on Manhunter, but I actually think I heard Anthony Hopkins he regrets returning back as Hannibal. He wish he only had played him one time.
Yeah, because he's older. As he gets older, he keeps coming back. It's
yeah,
just like
I maybe years later he was like, oh, I regret doing two more
that
Hannibal
guy
movies.
doesn't give up.
It should have just been a one and done kind of thing.
Right.
And I never knew what people thought of the Ridley Scott movie Hannibal. Like, isn't that a sequel to Silence of the Lambs? Like, it takes place after Silence of the Lambs. So
yeah, I like it.
But you say it's good. Okay.
I like it.
Okay, cool.
It's also it feels more like Tony Scott than Ridley Scott.
Nice.
Okay, so I'll say that.
Nice.
And then next up,
if you know, you know. Like
exactly. And then lastly, my favorite movie of the year so far that I've seen now.
This was pretty hyped up.
Overtaking the Monkeys, Mickey 17 by the director Bong Joon-ho.
Take a bong hit, June.
Yeah.
June. Ho, you dumb ho. Right?
Did you watch it in theaters?
I'm sorry?
Is that an older one?
You know what's crazy? I almost had to
What
like.
year is that?
It just came out.
This just came out. I almost had to like pinch myself. I was like, whoa, he really took like 6 years to follow up to Paris. I almost was like, he didn't make a movie since then? Like, I was like, oh, kind of like, wow.
So, of course, this is by Bong Joon-ho. I think he's a Korean filmmaker.
Yeah.
Parasite. He won an Oscar for his last film.
And the Palme d'Or.
And
the Cannes Film Festival.
He also made Snowpiercer, which was another
fire.
great film. And this is basically, I think, more in the vein of Snowpiercer, but it's much more satirical.
It's like sci-fi, yeah?
It's a sci-fi satire. It's a funny satire sci-fi film that definitely is poking fun once again, like Snowpiercer, I think, at classism and stuff like that. Basically, these people leave the earth with Mark Ruffalo, who plays a very Trump-like character, okay? They leave the earth because the earth is like no good no more. So all the people are trying to, and they go like an Elon Musk move, trying to like fly to Mars or something like that.
Interstellar. Right?
Yeah, they try to go and inhabit another planet to have like a new way of life. And Mickey 17, this guy Mickey, he signs up to get away because he owns a loan shark money. Okay. They borrowed money to start their own business,
right?
Okay, and it fails, and then he owns these guys' money, and they're gonna kill him. So he flees the earth and signs up for this expedition. And the only way he could get on the ship was signing up as something called an expendable. An expendable is somebody where they basically hook you up to this machine, and they make it so you can die and come back to life
by cloning you. They clone you. Right?
Well, no. They have all your DNA in a machine.
Reprint you.
Exactly. They reprint you. So when you
interesting.
die, you actually come back out. They print you off your DNA, another version of yourself, but all your memories carry over to the new version.
Nice.
So it's like you never died.
Okay.
So you basically come back the next day.
Like Doomsday.
It's kind of like well, it's kind of like Groundhog Day essentially.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, cool.
But in a sense, but it's got and Mickey 17, the reason it's called Mickey 17 is because this is the 17th version of Mickey so far.
Oh, okay.
He's died. So they get to this new planet, and there's all these things they have to worry about, like contagions in the air and like the environment. So they send him out to combat this stuff and learn from it, and basically just sacrifice him. And so it's very funny and satirical, and it goes from there. And there's a whole other story I'm not even going to get into in this movie. It seems like it's very one note, but then the second half of the film opens up this whole other avenue of possibility with the storyline
Nice. I want to see
and
this.
this planet. It was very good. I really enjoyed. I give it 4 stars, but I feel like if I revisit it and watch it again
You get
later
a
this year,
5.
I might give it like a 4.5. It might go up, honestly.
Jay, what are you saying? What is this? You're the one that sent us the trailer for this. You don't remember this one?
No, yeah. For some
Robert
reason,
Pattinson?
because I can't see the numbers from here. I'm seeing 2020 for some 20 zeros.
No,
that
2025.
No, yeah, that's what I mean. But he went to see it in theaters, obviously, right? Because
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
came out. Right?
Did you see it in IMAX?
No,
or
just at my little theater by
Okay,
us
nice.
here that you've been
Oh,
to.
nice,
Yeah.
nice.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with this.
My
Robert,
my friend saw it. He said he liked it a lot too.
yeah,
so-
Robert Pattinson. Listen, I mean, if I'm gonna compare it to everything else, it's not as good as Parasite, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like
You
for
were
what
a
it
big.
is.
You like Parasite?
Parasite's really
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
Was it
think it
good?
deserved the Oscar. It's
Yeah,
very
it
well
was
made
good. It
film.
was a good film.
Very well made
It
film.
was
Yeah.
a good like Twilight. No.
Did you
Patterson
see
ever get, like,
Parasite, JT?
No.
Did you
man,
see
gotta
Parasite?
fucking-
No.
I have to read it, bro. I don't feel like.
Oh
watching it.
yeah. You could they probably have like a dubbed version, right? With English people
I
talking.
mean, you know what? Probably now. But now that if I look for it, I can probably
Watch
find
the
it.
Latino version.
But
Watch it in Spanish.
but very good cast. You got Robert Pattinson, you got Stephen Yeun, Mark Ruffalo, Tony Collette, who's always great, is in this. Yeah, it's a good cast. Honestly, it's worth
I
checking
mean, he's
out.
a great filmmaker, so like I'm not shocked to hear that
Yeah.
he has. I mean, this was supposed to come out last year, actually.
Yes, it was late.
And it got delayed. I don't know why, if the writers thing had anything to do with something, or they just delayed it. But yeah, no, this has been a very anticipated movie for a lot of people, especially people who really loved Parasite and his other films. He's got some great films.
I basically just said fantastic. What a funny satirical sci-fi film. Good performances and interesting story. I look forward to revisiting this one. And it's probably my favorite thing I've seen so far this year. This and The Monkey, like I said, are both really good. So
my friend texted me. He said he saw this, and so he's like, "Oh my god!" Now he's a Robert Pattinson guy because of this movie. He's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And then he said, "I got to check out his other stuff now." And I told him he should go watch Good Time. I still think that's his best. Like, that's my favorite. Like Robert, like
he's good in Tenet too.
He is really good at that. That's a good. Yeah, he's good in Tenet as well. So
okay, so here's my watch list, guys. As you can see, there's a lot of new movies coming up that some of these were even kind of doing like trailer reactions too. So definitely go check those out. But just to name a few here, we got The Amateur, Riff Raff, The Accountant 2, Megan 2.0. This movie I heard about, Sacramento, sounds interesting. Friendship, Death of the Unicorn, Freaky Tales. These are all things that are coming out later this year. Black Bag. I know Jay just sent me a trailer of that recently. They follow.
Oh, that's the that's the Kate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender. Is that Steven Soderbergh? Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, it's
he has 2 movies coming out in this. He came
Presence as well. Yeah,
and then this is coming out in what, March, or when is Black Bag coming out?
In a week, I think.
Yeah, that's crazy. He has 2 movies coming in within like a month apart from
2 months.
a
month. 1 month apart.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
honestly, I've been getting better too at figuring out which movies are the real ones. I keep asking, "Hey, Nico, is this real?" But no, and now I'm getting good.
Oh, They Follow. When's that coming out? That's the sequel to It Follows. Right?
Yes, it comes out this year.
Nice.
Yeah,
I really like It Follows.
Can't wait for that. But then, of course, you got some more Sean Baker films here on my watch list because I do want to watch that. I've heard really good things about this movie, End of Watch.
I seen it. That's David Ayer.
Yeah.
So who made he wrote Training Day, and then he directed a bunch of other cop kind of.
Did you like it?
Yeah. That's actually one of his better movies. That one is done like it's one of those like handheld camera things, and it's really based on the relationship that Jake Gyllenhaal has with Michael Pena on it, and it's so strong. Like they're sort of like, because they're partners on the force and stuff.
I heard it's one of the better things he's done. Honestly.
It's not me personally. I am a sucker.
Yeah.
No, that's Michael Bay. Ambulance.
Oh no, I'm talking about what's his name, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah, I love Jake. Yeah. That's what. Ambulance. Yeah, I love Jake. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the like.
Oh, wait. What do you like by David Ayer more?
By David Ayer. So yeah. Oh, you're talking about that's one of the best things that Jake Gyllenhaal has done. Yeah. That's up there as one of his better performances for sure. But as far as David Ayer, Harsh Times. Have you seen that with Christian Bale?
No.
That is a crazy ass movie where he's like
I'll add it.
he's like this like ex Iraq war veteran, and he has like this crazy PTSD, and he's trying to join like the police force,
Okay.
but he can't pass like the psych evaluation test. It's almost like the Taxi Driver of the 2000s.
Okay.
I feel like that's like what that is. And then there's this one kick-ass movie with Keanu Reeves, and it's sort of like because David Ayer, he didn't direct Training Day, but he wrote the screenplay. This is sort of like the quasi like spiritual sequel to Training Day. It's called Street Kings
Oh,
with Keanu
I've
Reeves.
seen that.
I love that
Yeah,
movie,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like with Keanu Reeves is like the cop and stuff. David Ayer, if you go through his whole filmography, it's all just a bunch of cop shit.
Cop
Like
movies,
he loves
yeah.
the cop. He also directed, I know you don't like it, the Suicide Squad, like the first one.
Oh,
He
yeah,
directed that, and then they're all saying on Twitter, release the Ayer cut, like
right.
the
I
thing.
do remember that now.
Yeah. And then he also did that movie. This is like pointing into like his love for cop shit, even though it takes him weird places. Remember that movie Bright with Will Smith?
Yeah, I remember.
When they're like cops, but they're like in
Trolls
a
and shit like that.
fantasy, like whatever the fuck, right?
Orcs. Yeah.
So end of watch, I would put that like, yeah, that's like one of the stronger cop films that he's done. Yeah, for
cool.
sure.
I'll check it out.
For sure.
And then I also wanted to highlight this Memories of Murder.
That's another Bong Joon-ho
yes,
film,
which
yeah.
I've yet to see it, but I've always heard really good things about that.
I've heard good things. I want to see that one too.
But yeah, other than that, really not too much added. Other than, like I said, I still have those David Lynch stuff on my list, but I remember talking about that last episode. So let's move on to your list here. Let's see here. Where's my look you up? There you go. Let's see what you added new to your watch list.
My Bill Simmons mustache, final form Bill Simmons.
All right.
Yeah, so like Problem Child onwards, that's all the stuff from this conversation that I just added in real time.
Right.
Yeah, I just a bunch of stuff. So some of these movies, like The Brutalist, Conclave, Nickel Boys, these are like the Oscars, like kind of like picks or whatever. Because I saw Poutine, I want to go and watch that the Poutine interviews, which is like him and Oliver Stone interview. Like I like Oliver Stone. I think he's like I like how honest he is and how kind of like face value of
You
Oliver
like
Stone.
his stuff.
I like him a lot actually. And I actually saw the first episode of it, but it's a 4-part thing that he did, so I want to go back and finish it. Defiance is like, this is the kind of the joke. I've seen this movie already.
Is this the Hitler movie?
No. It's a Holocaust movie with Daniel Craig, and he's Russian, and it's based on a true story of these brothers. I think they were Russian. They are Jewish, right? They're
Oh.
Jewish, right? And
Liv
Liv Schreiber's in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like him. Yeah.
They're Jews, right? And they're in the Holocaust, and I think they're like I forgot what national. I want to say they're Russian, and the Nazis are after them or whatever, and so they live in the forest with the whole community. They literally build like a small community in the forest away from like no one ever crossed their paths because they're so secluded in the forest. And they basically, it's like their way of life, and also how they have to like defend themselves whenever they do face the Nazis. And it's a real story. Why I'm motivated to go back and watch it is just because of the Poutine thing, where it's like a funny joke in my head where it's like, okay, if they remake Poutine for the Western audiences, Daniel Craig has to play him.
Right.
Like that's like my thing. So
yeah.
And then so I added The Pianist because Adrian Brody. I seen that one too, and I want to go back and rewatch that one. Crash, because of the rewatchables, they did it. I want to see the other Crash.
That's right. Yeah,
that I've never watched. Yeah. David Cromer. This is the next movie. What's that one called again?
Playing by Heart.
That's a movie they name dropped in the rewatchables episode for Crash, and I want to see that because it's also about that whole like intertwining lives sort of narrative.
Okay.
Like, right? I don't want to see that. Changeling, I've seen. Have you seen that movie?
No, I've heard good things about it though.
This is a really like makes your skin crawl kind of movie about this woman who her son goes missing, and like the LAPD try to like gaslight her into thinking that like they found her son, but it's not actually her son.
Oh my god!
And they like try to make her seem like she's crazy.
Yeah,
it's actually really good. I want to go back and rewatch it. It's really like
I've heard about this Beavers movie before. I heard
this is like a Looney Tunes like movie. This is like a black and white movie.
Hundreds of beavers.
And it's like I think it's actually a Canadian made this. I think, or I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Or if not Canadian, then like North, like Wisconsin or something. I think might have. And then so like it's like this guy who's fighting all these beavers in these like suits or whatever.
I've heard
And
about it.
it's
yeah.
kind of like Looney Tunes like humor, like sticks to dynamite and shit like that. And AI, you guys know I want to see that. I haven't seen it. I shot Andy Warhol. This is a movie about this ultra feminist who attempted to assassinate Andy Warhol. It's actually from the same filmmaker as American Psycho.
Oh,
this was the
okay.
first film that she made before American Psycho.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys know, but American Psycho was directed by a woman and who's also Canadian
Yeah.
too. So Mary
Yeah.
Herron. So yeah, that's that. I want to see Doctor Strangelove. I never saw that.
Me neither. I know. I've heard great things.
I forgot what. I think it was because I was watching that Poutine movie and they were also talking about like.
I think it's still very relevant today.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So-
I want to see that. The Wiz is like a Michael Jackson kind of Wizard of
Yeah,
Oz
it's the
thing. I
Black
want to see.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so that's what I want to see. And then I saw the TV. Have you seen that one?
Christine watched it. I've heard good things about it. I actually am the one that suggested that she check it out, and she actually checked it out before I did. So I've yet to see it.
Okay.
So.
So I want to see that. My friend who I talk movies with all the time, he said that was his favorite movie of 2024, like hands
I
down.
heard it's very strange.
Yeah, it is strange. He said he's like, oh, you might not like this, you might not like this,
Right.
but I still want to see. He's seen it like 7 times.
That's what she said to me. She was like, I want to hear your opinion on this movie, because she was like, she doesn't know how I'll feel about it, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So then Los Angeles Plays Itself. That's a documentary, I think. I saw it because one of my friends vlogged it. So and I've heard about this movie I actually don't know too much about it. I think it's just like a documentary about, if I want to guess, it's like how they use LA in the movies or something. Like they're just showing like LA, like it's kind of like a.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it says here.
Yeah, so I want to see. I've heard about it years ago, and I wanted to see it. And then The Boys from Brazil. That's Adam Naiman watched it, and I heard about this because Gregory Peck was in this. So he logged this, so I was like, okay, let me.
Nazi hunter.
Yeah, it's a Nazi about Nazis who like fled to South America type of shit.
Very relevant today.
Actually, this movie, I forgot the name of it. On the bottom, the Kitty Tipple thing, the one that's like the third movie.
This one.
That's another Adam Naiman film that's Paul Verhoeven.
Oh.
That he also logged in. So I'm like, okay, I'll check that out maybe.
I can't say I've ever heard of this one.
No, I never heard of it either.
I know Paul Verhoeven though.
Yeah,
I like his stuff a lot.
Yeah. So
interesting.
That's that. And then the movie that's right next to it, the River, that's Martin Scorsese. Like put that recommended.
Yeah, I don't
that.
follow him. I should.
You
I
should
heard
follow
he's
him
on
on
here.
Letterboxd.
Yeah.
He's not active anymore
but
because
he makes lists and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I don't think he's made it since he's created
his daughter's the one that kind of hooked him up.
Yeah.
This,
but
right?
there's like one list where he has like
all his favorite
like a really long list of movies. So yeah, I recommend it just for that.
Very nice.
So yeah.
Okay, that's Max's watch list, and finally let's take a look at JT. JT, anything new that you've added or?
Oh yeah, there's all kinds of stuff coming out this year.
Okay, if there's anything you want to highlight here.
Nice.
I want to see.
I like it.
The Heat 2.
Yeah.
Have a date yet?
Are you worried about this?
No. I mean,
are you?
No,
it's still a Michael Mann movie.
I mean,
very much so. Yeah.
So I mean, I've heard of the book. I actually bought the book for a friend of mine, for his birthday, but I haven't even read it. But I think it's so. What it is it takes place before and after the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 2 timelines, and I think it's like Neil before he like in the 80s, Neil in the 80s, and then it's like Vincent in the 2000s. I think like Al Pacino's character in the 2000s. I'm just curious how it's gonna pull it off. So you're gonna have to get someone to play young Pacino and young De Niro, or did were they saying that he's only gonna focus on one of the storylines, not 2? Or
that's the thing. There's nothing concrete. Right
yeah.
Adam Driver was thrown out there, so
I think he would.
Austin Butler.
I think Adam Driver would probably would fit for the De Niro character.
And he's worked with Mann already.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. And then Al Pacino said that they asked him like, who would you want to play the young version? Do you know what I'm saying?
No.
He's like, Al Pacino was like, oh, you want to play the young version of you? And he said Timothy Chalamet.
Fuck that.
I kind of don't want it to be him. I just
he's getting all the things right now. I think,
but he's also not like he's
not
like,
tough.
Yeah, exactly. That's my
even
thing.
in Dune, he's not supposed to be looked at favorably as
that
character. Like he's the great white hope essentially.
Yeah.
But he's also full of shit.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's
like on both. They're like playing both sides of it, right?
Right. That's what people don't. Maybe some people didn't realize that about Dune. You're not supposed to like him at the end of Dune 2. He takes a turn that.
But you know what the thing with Dune is, like, it's sci-fi, so he can see through the future. So it's kind of like, okay, could he beat Austin Butler in a fight if he has future sight ability, like maybe, right?
Yeah.
In the real world, though, like
get his ass whooped.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about here?
What else you got here, Jay? Anything?
I've actually seen a lot of these movies that he's in.
That Michael one too. That
Yeah,
come up.
The Hunt. Do you know that movie?
No.
It's a Danish film. This is a movie where they accuse him. They accuse him of being a child molester, even though he isn't one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and it's like how the community kind of turns on him. It's a very good movie,
Sure.
actually.
And that Michael one is released in Canada too this year. It's gonna be a Michael
you
Jackson.
never seen Moneyball?
Yeah, I've seen it. I just
Oh,
I want to
rewatch.
Oakland was
Oh
sold
yeah,
recently.
Antoine Fuqua. This is the guy who did Training Day and the Equalizer film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So that one looks interesting. That's already a confirmed date in October, right? For that one. So that
By the
one's
way,
good.
bro, huge pointers for me for putting the Marx Brothers animal crackers. Do you like the Marx Brothers? Are you fans of them?
I thought, you know what? I check it. I take it. I give. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a 1930s comedy. It's actually really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta find it first.
Groucho Marx, bro. That guy's hilarious.
Not the easiest. It's not the easiest movie to find out there, right? Like, the movies. You know, if anybody's got it to watch on
It's really very of its time, but it's like it has like endearing qualities to it, you know.
You know what I mean? And that Dracula one, that still hasn't had no confirmed date.
Oh, this is Luca's new film after the Hunt. Okay.
Because I've been watching all kinds of stuff.
What is this? Oh, by Chloe Zhao. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So there's still no.
He's the one that did the Eternals. That
Wow.
yeah, that movie. And then, but before she did that movie with Frances McDormand, No Man's Land or whatever, that she won the Oscar for. No, I haven't seen it either.
She's good though.
And there's just two more. Like the Better Man.
I have no interest in seeing that, bro.
Let this man talk. He's trying to finish up his list.
Sorry, JT.
Go ahead, Jay.
No, the Better Man. I just want to watch that one with the ape there. What's his name? I don't know who that was supposed to be.
Who is that?
Yeah,
he's a guy.
Know, it looks like the guy from the Planet of the Apes, dude. To be honest with you.
No, he's a guy from England. He's a British guy. So they're basically using him to do like you said, like deep fake or AI. Like they're using this guy to basically be this character Robbie Williams from he's known more in Britain apparently.
Is it like his life and then they just for shits and giggles decided to make him a monkey?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'll check it out because it's like it just went.
It looks like fine.
Right? But then the last one there was that one there, but I can't remember what that one was called because on my phone. Not Whiplash, whatever. But that American movie, I don't know why, but I shit because it's got
makes a movie.
Well, it's like Giuseppe Makes a Movie style, right? So I was thinking, I'll watch it because it's all handheld, cheap, like quality movie, but they come out to somehow figure out how to make a movie.
Whoa, Sean Fantasy gave it 5 stars.
Nice.
Watch out.
He's the king of Letterboxd, bro. This guy loved that movie. That's high praise.
Is it really?
I don't know. King of Letterboxd.
Is that what he keeps self-proclaimed?
No, Bill keeps calling him that.
Oh yeah, because he's fucking with him. Yeah, Bill makes fun of him for using Letterboxd. He's like, "You're a pussy for using that shit." Like, I mean, in other words,
Oh, but yeah, so that's all I have right now. I haven't really.
Very nice.
Just put Green Mile and that kind of stuff because I thought, you know what, the Moneyball thing or what my nephew put on his thing. So I figured, you know what, I know watch those two because I like those movies, those two movies. So I figured, you know what, the Green Mile, you can always go for a little Green Mile. Right?
I don't really like the Green Mile.
I've never finished it actually. I watched it like halfway.
You know what's funny? That movie's longer than any other movie that I've been watching lately, and I could sit through that whole fucking movie and watch it, no problem. Right? It's got no.
You like your boy Tom Hanks, so I understand. Okay,
you can do the whole movie with a fucking beach ball. Like seriously, bro.
True story.
So very quickly too, we did want to highlight the Oscar winners here, and if you guys check out our episode that we recorded in December, before the Christmas break, when the Oscar nominees came out, we actually all picked a bunch of predictions for some of the top picks of categories that we wanted to highlight. And I figured it'd be fun just to kind of go through it very quickly here, talk about who won what for the Oscars, and let you know who won our little contest here, predictions here. But Max, while I'm going through this here, though, did you want to mention quickly the party that you went to.
Yeah, it was
how
fun.
was that? If
It
you
was
want to
fun.
talk
It was
about
fun. It was
that.
interesting experience to have like the whole crowd watch the Oscars, and it's so funny. Like early on in the ceremony, the screen was like buffering, and so like it kind of like went out or whatever. The stream went out. It was like and everyone was like like doing that, and
Freaking out.
I'm like, yo, bro, hit refresh, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like they had like some fame. You guys know Carlos from like Canadian E, and he was like on YTV when I was a kid. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
You know what I'm talking about,
yeah.
right? I met him. I actually took photo with him.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
yeah. He was hosting the thing, and he was talking to people, and I just went up to him and was like, bro, like you mean a lot to like my upbringing and stuff.
Right.
And
Oh,
so
that's awesome.
yeah, so he's a super cool guy.
Yeah.
And it was a good show, man. Conan O'Brien did his thing.
He did a
and,
great job, I thought.
You know,
The
yeah,
Adam Sandler thing was
oh,
awesome.
hilarious. And then
Cody, he's like
Salame.
Salame.
He's like, Conan, okay, stop making such a big deal about my outfit.
You know, they're making fun of the Ukrainian, like him showing up without a suit to the White House, right? That's what
Who? Oh, that's what they were making fun of.
Zelensky showing up. That was what the Adam Sandler thing, because he always shows up in basketball shorts and everything, right? But he purposely did that. It was a bit that they were.
Okay, I didn't make that connection. That's hilarious. Yeah, but I still remember Saturday Night Live did something about the Zelensky thing that was so funny. Oh my god.
Oh, the one with Mike Myers.
Yeah. Where Mike Myers was Elon Musk.
Oh,
that was a glitch.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Who comes into the White House with a T-shirt or whatever?
He's like, what are you guys doing in my house or whatever? And then Trump is like, Trump is like, you have no cards. You have no cards. I have all the cards. I have pickup 4. I have reverse. I have get out of jail free card. It was so funny. It was excellent.
It was good stuff.
And then but the show was good. Yeah, it was interesting to see the Oscars with like a crowd of people.
What did your crowd think of Adrian Brody's long ass speech?
I guess they were like groaning afterwards, and then
yeah, because it ultimately went nowhere. Like it was just like,
yeah,
I've been here before. I've been here before.
No, if you go back and watch when he won for The Pianist, which is like one of my favorite speeches like anyone's ever given. He goes out, he makes out with Halle Berry.
Yeah. You talked about this last time.
Yeah, did I? Okay, he makes out with Halle Berry. Then he goes on in the whole thing, and they tried to play the music on him then. And he's like, no, don't, like, please let me speak. And then
he now has the longest speech in history.
Yeah, does he? Interesting. Yeah, he's like, let me speak. And then he says,
really what it is?
You know what's so crazy too? Because when he won it for that time, it was like 2002, and they had just, or 2003
for the pianist,
and they had just deployed troops in Iraq, and he was like, oh, let's like look for a peaceful resolution. It's so crazy that now they've given him the Oscar again, and the world's in another like effed up predicament.
Now he's just whipping gum at his wife.
Yeah, whipping gum, and she's catching it too. They've done that before, bro. They're like this, like they have perfect. I'm like, what the hell did he throw at her? He just threw gum.
He threw gum at her.
She caught it, bro. She caught it with one hand.
He went to run up on
TV,
and did you not see this? He went to.
I didn't see the whole thing. No.
He went to run up on the stage to accept his award, and then he turned around and whipped the gum. He's like, she's catching it.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy word.
People were criticizing.
That's Sean Baker.
Oh no, Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody.
Okay.
He just like people didn't like his speech because he was going on a lot, and just I this is like you should have just written something.
Tarantino came out,
which I liked. Yeah, that was awesome.
Presented Sean Baker with the award.
Best director.
That there, I have a problem. I hadn't. Remember, I was talking to you about the speech, Nico.
Oh, I love that speech.
I did to a point. I did really agree with this speech and how you guys are losing theaters and people are losing theaters, but
that was a good speech.
Also too on another aspect, and I think people should be creative, but I feel like okay, yeah, it is the Oscars, but remember, without those, and I hate to fucking give those streaming services fucking any sort of credit or anything like that, bro. Those big corporations, but I'll tell you right now, without that, we wouldn't have gotten in the last few years. We wouldn't have gotten probably the best television we got since the 80s.
This isn't television though. This is the movie.
Netflix? You're saying Netflix is the reason you got good shows?
They brought out a lot of different shows where a lot of different types of shows to fill their time, like when everything was going shit.
Bro, every show Netflix makes is trash, bro.
I'm not saying just Netflix. There's all kinds of.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like TV was like we don't have to go through this.
But I understand where he's going with that. But there is also great directors and producers in television as well, right?
Can I rebuttal your comment with two points? One,
Okay.
you're
HBO.
not someone that goes to the theaters all that much, so shut up. Two,
Damn, calling him out.
It doesn't mean nothing. It's still a fucking opinion.
it does mean something though. You're not one of the people that
Well, then I feel bad for you. Then okay, that's what it is. I'm feeling bad
Right?
for you.
Am I right?
I mean,
People like him and people like you. Then
Right.
yeah, it's pretty hard to go when you were going. I wouldn't be going to theaters by myself. You know what I mean? Kind of pull up.
Yeah, you've gone with us. You enjoyed
I've
yourself.
gone with you guys, yeah, here and there, right? But I don't go as obviously I don't go as much as you, or I
No.
don't go as much as Max, right?
Right. That's all I mean by that is like get out of here with
But I
your
mean, I've
opinion
been
it
to
spoke to
theaters a
me.
lot.
I like the speech.
No, so did I. I thought it was a great
You know,
speech, bro. Honestly,
you know what's
And the
interesting
key
about
people
that speech?
coming out with independent movies and stuff like that.
He-
Like I thought that was great.
He pulled out this written thing, but that was like the third Oscar he won that night. So like,
because they have different speeches for different awards sometimes, though.
He
Too.
wanted to get it right. That's
no,
what
but
he
I'm
said.
saying so. Like, let's say, but he didn't know he was gonna win 4 Oscars that night. Maybe he could have just won one,
Maybe
and that would have been his only shot.
Maybe
So
he thought of it afterwards that he wanted to say this thing. But with Quentin Tarantino up there when he's saying
Yeah.
this, who also gives a shit about theaters, the state of theaters,
he was clapping
and
him when he
also
said
the
that.
fact that he saw Mikey Madison in Once Upon a Time
That's
in
the
Hollywood
connection. Yeah,
was awesome.
that was the cherry on top.
No, I know. I'm not trying to harp on you, Jay. I know. I'm just saying.
I'm not trying to harp on anything either, right? Like I'm just like I know I don't go to the movies and I don't do that kind of shit a lot, but I understand his whole aspect around it.
I know,
But I
but
still
you said two things. You said streaming services for TV, which has nothing to do with.
Yeah, I
Like,
fucking hate it.
You don't even go to the theater. So.
I think the thing is like the real
I don't even use those streaming services.
one of the things is that like the home experience is just so much better now. Like you could watch a movie with like as good quality on your TV as your big screen TV as
I know, but I get both sides of it.
Yeah,
and I do
so
both, but
I do both.
as someone who was sitting there the other day when I was listening to some people I know talk about how much they hate the theater going experience now, I was very alone with my thoughts in that moment. I'm just like, well, I
enjoy it.
I like my theater experiences personally, but
I like it too.
I told you. What did I tell you when fucking Friendship comes out? Who do you think I want to go watch it with? I told you, and it's going to be at a theater, honestly.
For sure. Okay.
My favorite speech was Zoe Saldana's.
She was good.
Yeah, that's my like. If we're talking about speeches, like when she's like, "Oh, my husband and your hair," and like I was just like that, and I thought it was cute.
But yeah, okay, good Oscars. I thought it was good, and I like we said, Conan did a great job. But let's go over some of the winners here. Best Picture, Anora won for that one. And
which I'm so happy.
Conclave, The Brutalist, Complete Unknown, Wicked, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, The Substance, Dune Part 2, Nickel Boys were all nominated, but Anora won for Best Picture. Our predictions were Max Conclave, but wanted Anora to win. JT Conclave, Julie Brutalist, but wanted Anora to win, and me Brutalist, but wanted Anora to win. So we all got that one wrong. None of us.
It's crazy because The Brutalist, Conclave, and Amelia Perez, I thought were like the triple-headed monster of this whole thing, but then slowly over time they all just got exposed.
So we recorded this in December. Brutalist was in the conversation and Amelia Perez was in the conversation. By the time February rolled around, when they were doing the Oscars, it was between Conclave and Anora, apparently, that were the top runners, the front runners out of those two. So it's funny how time changes, right?
You know, the reason why I didn't say Anora was because it's just like a history of like every time I wanted something to win, like the one that I deep down win, they never go for.
Right.
So like that's what that was both of our lists of the top of 2024, like right number one. That's the best.
We were trying to be smart about it.
Yeah, I was trying to be thing, but then I was like,
this was a shock.
I didn't think they were gonna, even though Sean Baker did win the top prize at the Cannes Film Festival, I didn't think they were actually gonna reward him with 4.
The Palme d'Or. Was it Cannes or Palme d'Or?
Palme d'Or, yeah. But the award is called Palme d'Or, but it's at the Cannes Film Festival. Yeah. I didn't think they were gonna give him 4 Oscars. That's crazy. Like.
Yes, it is crazy.
So I'm happy it happened. Though.
Also, there was a lot of talk about the fact that it was made for $6 million, which it was the movie that won the best picture for the lowest amount of money. That
really is that a fact?
But they spent 18 million. Neon Films spent 18 million promoting it for the Oscar race. So it kind of diminishes. Some people were saying the fact that they won making a film for $6 million when you spend 3 times that in promotion for the film to campaign for it. But it worked.
Well, a
But
lot
it
of
worked,
people. The thing
right?
is, when you look at the budget of a film, that never includes marketing.
Right.
So
and a film like this, to get it to win this award, it was worth it, I think.
yeah, no,
regard,
absolutely.
right?
And like if it wins, like it won Best Picture, how many people are now watching it just because they heard it wins Big Picture? Like now it's like
no, it's
motivating them to
good.
see
You
it.
need
So
more
yeah,
eyes on it.
I'm so happy. That's to me my favorite thing of the whole Oscars, that Anora got decorated as that got celebrated as much as it did. Like that's a major.
And then he got Best Director, which Sean Baker also took home for Anora. Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, Coralie Forgot for The Substance, and James Mangold.
Which I'm still like
a complete unknown.
I'm still like shocked that The Brutalist got any kind of Academy recognition, because that is like not a movie the Academy Awards usually celebrates. Like that was really
Scorsese. He's not even.
He didn't release a movie this year.
No. Best Director though.
He should get it every year.
Guess what? Me, JT, and Julie all picked Anora for this and won.
Oh
it.
yeah, nice. For Best Director?
You took Brutalist on
Yeah, I
this one
took
for Best
Brutalist.
Director,
Which is it's so funny how I picked that and I still haven't seen it.
Okay, so then we got actress, Best Actress, Mikey Madison for Anora one, which honestly, we all picked Demi Moore on this. I was pretty shocked about this, but so happy for her.
Me too.
And
I'm not mad at
Demi
it.
got the Golden Globe this year, but every other award she lost out to Mikey Madison. And I think it's
Mikey deserved
well
it.
deserved.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mikey was incredible.
He's gonna be around a lot longer. I mean, Demi's got her. She's got her awards already.
So what's funny about what Jay is saying though is the commentary that people were saying after the fact is that the story of The Substance literally played out at the awards show.
That
with
is
the
funny.
younger and more hot actress beating out the.
Nah, but it was the better performance.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's just funny how sometimes life imitates art.
It was.
That is the point of The Substance, and that's exactly
like Mikey nailed that Brooklyn accent. Like that's the best I've ever heard.
Demi
like,
also congratulated her.
Yeah,
as well.
yeah.
Like she was very happy for her.
No, Mikey,
she said
Mikey
she's one of the
killed that
sweetest.
Especially if she's like, what's her nationality, anyways? Because she had an accent, isn't she?
She put it on for that. She learned Russian for the role.
No,
she's
real life, she's just American. Like
she's not Russian.
No, but she is Eastern
European. Some sort of accent, right?
She's Jew. I know she is Jewish or some kind of like I don't know.
Best actor Adrian Brody, as we mentioned won it for The Brutalist.
Did we all say that he was gonna win?
We said for actor, you said Ray Fiennes.
Oh my god.
JT said Timothy Chalamet.
Close.
Julie and me also said Ray Fiennes, and we were all
wow.
wrong.
No one said Adrian Brody.
You know what the worst part about this was? That
that's the AI.
Yes, but Ray Fiennes, people were talking about it after, saying a lot of people thought that he had already won the award.
Yeah,
which he had not.
No, he hasn't.
You know which one they thought he won the award for? Schindler's List.
Schindler's List, no,
but he didn't. And a lot of people that voted on this category apparently thought the same thing. So it kind of
my friend sent me a text. He told me that the Academy, the voters for the Academy admitted to not even watching Dune Part 2.
That's right.
So it's just like
that's right. I know
this is all politics.
It was that and the thing that they also thought he had won.
Yeah,
those were the two big things that came out of the show.
The fact that they're admitting that too is nuts.
Best supporting actress, your girl Zoe Saldana.
I'm happy. Did I vote for her?
You did.
Yeah, I'm happy she won.
And you're the only one that got that one right.
I haven't seen Amelia Perez, but I'm so happy she won.
You're the only one that got that right.
I love Zoe.
Best supporting actor, Kieran Culkin. We all got this right. We all voted for
Kieran
Culkin
we?
For a real
pick. Deep down I wanted Jeremy to win, but I'm happy for Kieran. I'm happy for Kieran.
Best adapted screenplay. Guess what? You won again for Sean Baker for Anora.
No,
not adapted. Best original screenplay. You got that with Anora.
I thought that was the one he was going to win. I didn't think they were going to give him director.
JT says September. That's September 5th movie. Julie said A Real Pain. I said The Brutalist. We all lost. Okay.
Did we pick for best adapted?
We did. Guess who won? Max and JT picked Conclave. Oh, you guys killing it. Look at this. All right. I picked me and Julie.
Was good, bro.
Yeah. Me and Julie. The worst part about this is I'm picking things I had never even seen. Me and Julie picked Sing Sing, and we were wrong on that one, even though I watched.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah,
it was well regarded. But
yeah. I had a feeling that was gonna win when we were watching.
Isn't that the jail movie?
Yeah, the jail. It's like a musical, I think, right, or something like that.
And then best cinematography, The Brutalist won. I picked Nosferatu.
I think I picked Dune, if I remember.
You picked Dune too, and yeah, JT and Julie picked Nosferatu as well. So we were all wrong on that one. Brutalist one.
The AI one.
Yes, right. Best editing, Nora, which I believe we all picked, if I'm not mistaken. No, Julie and Nico did it. We both said Nora. I don't think you guys commented on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Production design, I don't think anybody got Wicked right here. Visual, what?
It's the one that makes sense, though. I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, Dune. I mean,
what else did we get here? Visual effects. We didn't do every single one. Visual effects.
yeah.
Max said Dune Part 2. I said Dune Part 2. Julie said Dune Part 2. Jay said Planet of the Apes. So Jay did that one. We did. Animated feature Flow one, which I was really happy about. Honestly, I literally just saw that the day before we made these votes. I think it was a great movie, but me, Jay, and Julie all picked Wild Robot, and you picked Inside Out too. So we got that one wrong. Makeup.
In order of votes, is this going in order of votes? Like second would have been the Wild Robot if that was a runner.
I don't think it's in order. No.
Okay. Just wondering.
Makeup. We all said Substance. Sound. We all said Dune.
Did Substance win?
Yeah, Substance won.
Yeah.
Sound. We all said Dune, so we were right on that one as well. Yeah, and that's it. That's all the ones that we had.
Who had the most wins?
Drum roll, please.
You knew Nico had that already set up. It was a winner.
All right. So
wait, but first, who won best documentary short? I'm just kidding.
We didn't pick that.
That's international documentary.
And sorry, I was short in not announcing all of the people that were in these categories.
That's
guys,
all good.
But we ran a little long, so I was just trying to speed things up.
They've seen the Oscars already.
Yeah. Fucking Max won.
Yay! How many did I get right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh shit!
6. You got 6, but you know what? You know who was the runner-up? JT
with 5.
JT got 1, 2, 3. You didn't get that. 4. Yeah, he was close. 5.
Nice.
I only got, I think, like 3. I think Julie was last, and then I came like second.
Did anyone say Best Picture Nora was gonna win?
None of us got Best Picture.
Okay.
You, me, and Julie all said we wanted Nora to win, but we didn't think it was actually gonna pull off.
That.
So that was fun, guys. That was a lot of fun.
I will say this though, like when I think of Best Picture, when I think of movies that have defined the year, when I let's say 5 years go by, 10 years go by, and I go 2024, what was the movie that best encompassed 2024? Me personally, it's Dune Part 2. To me, that was the movie of the year kind of thing. So, but I know they never like to give the Oscars to that type of thing. So
I also think if people aren't into sci-fi like that, they're out automatically on
that,
right? It's not a movie where you could be it's not as accessible, I feel for everybody.
But it's like they pick and choose what the criteria is, because one year they give 11 Oscars to Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, which I feel would fit in that same wheelhouse of not everyone's into fantasy or whatever, right? So I don't know.
Yeah,
the fact that they're admitting to not even watching it is crazy.
Yeah, it's a head scratcher for sure, right?
But I'm so happy Honor won. Congratulations to Mikey,
and congratulations Sean Baker. And guys, if you check out the feed after this episode, the week after this drops, we will be talking about the Florida Project with Julie returning to the show on Late Night at the Movies, our movie review show there. So definitely go check that out. And yeah, this is a lot of fun. I think this show's panning out. Actually, I'm liking this Late Night Letterboxd as a follow up to our other show. But yeah, they're long but fun sessions. I do enjoy recording.
Sorry for talking over your shit, JT. I gotta work on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, and I called you. I don't let this guy finish.
Yeah. I was he's watch this, and I'm saying everything.
You know what though? I know you're let me talk about all of your picks.
That's fucked up, JT. I'm sorry.
I think it's a fucking boner. As soon as I mention something, he's like, all right, I'm going at it, man.
I love the enthusiasm. It's great. It's good enthusiasm. My only concern is my audio setup is not good for that right now. So you're drowning out JT completely.
My bad.
It's bad enough that I'm low.
My bad.
That's how, you know what? Is you have those fucking things around it so we know whose turn it is to, straight up, man. That's the one feature Stinger is gonna come out with.
Yeah. No, it's all jokes though. That was good. There was a lot of fun
good
here,
episode,
guys.
good
Yeah.
session, guys.
All right, guys, that's gonna do it. This is all of us signing off. Once again, you can follow us on Letterboxd. Our usernames are under our names here up on the screen, and we'll see you guys next time. Like and subscribe, everyone. Later.
Peace.
So.